Hi Aries, and welcome to November 2016 tarot reading. I'm Celtic Guide Tarot, and welcome to my channel. And yes, you're going to have to be patient with this reading, Aries. And that's not a bit of a, I don't mean to panic you or anything, because there's not any, there's definitely a sense of you feeling stressed out this November, torn in many different directions, stressed, not sure which way to go, not sure which way to turn. It's that sort of sense of head and heart moving in separate directions. And your challenge card is a Two of Swords, and I suppose you can read this in so many different ways. But your challenge card is to remain balanced and calm, basically. That sort of, you can read that card this way, in that meditative calm state. That's what you've been asked to do. So you can definitely see that, or you can also see it that you've been asked to take the blindfold off your eyes, Aries, and see what's there in front of you. And let's see what the reading, what else comes up as the reading goes along. Your additional guidance card is chop wood. So the sense of maybe patience, really big patience is required of you this month, Aries. A sense of, oh my gosh, you know, it's that sort of thing, well, if you can't make the big things happen, if life's stressful, go and do little things. And that's what the chop wood card means, basically. So at the centre of it, there could be quite a lot of stress for you, Aries, but please don't worry, because the outcome's beautiful of the month. So you start the month with the Knight of Pentacles. So this is, some of you could be getting messages around work or finances. This is an offer that could be made. So if any of you are looking for work, this is a really positive sign, because he leads directly to the Eight of Discs, which is you focusing on work, on your craft, on, you know, just on whatever it is you do, basically, and you're focused and you're hardworking here. And so for some of you, if you're looking for work, these two together are really positive signs, actually. I think it's maybe the home environment that's maybe quite stressful for some of you. The work situation looks really good, Aries, though. These are really practical steps you can take. And also, the root of the situation, you've got Temperance, which is mind and heart being in balance here, so, which is beautiful, because that's what you want after the Five of Wands. That's torn in different directions and in conflict. The Temperance card is trying, at the root of the situation, you're feeling balanced. So that's really powerful, actually. There's a sense of letting the conflict go on around you, but you being quite grounded and quite not detached, because you're not detached, because you're very connected with your heart, but you're not getting too involved in whatever the conflict is, really. But I think the blindfold's going to have to come off, Aries. And also, like that Temperance, you're almost in very good spiritual health this month, because your crowning card, you've got the King of Swords, and there's almost a sense of you being, wearing that crown, being in charge of your own thinking, and there's a sense of being really, there might be conflict here, and I've got a feeling there might be some conflict around the home, but you're, oh, I don't know, it's almost a little bit detached. You're looking after your own well-being and not getting too involved in the conflicts around you, so not taking things personally, not getting too emotionally involved, which is the biggest lesson for everyone on this planet, Aries. So it's almost spiritually, mind and body and spirit, you're really looking after your own well-being here, which I'm loving it, actually, because there's this sort of conflict in the middle, but all around it, and you're looking after your own self, You're also, work's going well. It's almost you're focusing on very grounded things to take the heat off this 5. So how others see you is the Fool. So yeah, I'm only laughing, Aries, because, and that's what I'm seeing, that even though there's this conflict going on, at the root of it, you're this alchemist who's just keeping your mind and body in such a good health, and you're wearing the crown of the higher mind. You're just not getting involved. So others are seeing you as this sort of free spirit, this Fool, just like almost not shrugging your shoulders in a negative way, but not getting too emotionally involved. You're quite carefree. And you know what? I think that's advice for every person here. I need to learn this, Aries. It's wonderful. And keep that carefreeness around you. Don't take things personally. Don't get over involved. And the reason why I think there might be some conflict in the home environment is you've also got the 10 of Swords in the home environment. So there's a sense of, maybe for some Aries, this is only a maybe and it's only for a few, there might be quite a difficult ending in the home environment. And it might not be all that negative. It might be the sense of, oh my gosh, I've so had enough. And it might be you've had enough of conflict, that it might be having enough of the conflict which causes you to make the changes you need to make, to move into Temperance, to move into the King of Swords and that Fool. And it might be that sense of overwhelming, I cannot be in this conflict anymore. You know, when we're pushed to that edge and we just have to let go, and we have to change, and we have to change from within. So I'm actually seeing this as such a positive reading now. It's almost you are being pushed to change, what change you're going to do. And maybe that challenge is to keep that meditative state and not get involved in this conflict. And that's what that 10 of Swords means. It means a complete ending of a cycle, of a way of being, when you're mentally involved in conflicts and everything like that. That's what I'm beginning to get, actually. Your hopes and fears of the Moon. So I think there could be a little bit of uncertainty going around you. There's a little bit of, oh gosh, where's this? Not being able to see where it's all going to end. Maybe, and it's also, there could be a little bit of fear. Trust your intuition. You've got that absolute, look at our third eye. Trust your inner knowing, Aries. Trust your intuition. Keep your focus on your work, the chopped wood. That keeps you grounded and away from your thinking. And it's your thinking that, it's our thinking that causes the nightmares. And that sort of 10 of Swords there is a complete ending of a way of being. Please don't worry. You then move on to the 10 of Discs, that sense of unity and community and financial abundance. So my advice is to focus on your work stuff quite a lot this month. You've got the 10 of Discs, and right next to it you've got the Sun card. And I know that's the Leo card, but it's also the Aries card, that sense of being alive and just feeling good, and just that sense of well-being, Aries, that sort of sense of everything's okay. There's definitely a change for you this month, and I think most of the change is actually going to be, Aries, in how you handle situations. I think there's a point that you're going to, I don't know, if the stress is just building up, it's, you know, basically the stress building up in you, and the only way you're going to handle it is about letting go. So there's that sense of just putting down the burdens and restoring your own self and looking after your own harmony and becoming just non-reactive in a way. You know, he's got control of that sword. The swords no longer control him, because if you look at his cards, the swords have completely destroyed him, and this is different. He's taking charge of his thoughts. He's a boss. He's no longer controlled by them, and I think that's the message of your month, really. Focus on work. Don't let your thoughts run away with you, Aries. That's what I'm getting. And all's going to be good. And that hopes and fears. So there might be some fears flying around, Aries, that, and maybe that's what the stress is. You're worried about something or someone in your environment. But the outcome, look at the outcome, 10 of Discs and the Sun. So it's all good, and maybe look out for the weeklies, and that will continue to give you updates about how the month's going to progress for you. No worries, I want to keep this reading. I want to write it down, and I want to remind myself every time I get stressed that this is the answer. So this is a powerful reading. And this is what the tarot is for me. It's a personal development tool. And that's what this is. This is your reading, Aries. This is about how you're going to change and transform your own self. Beautiful reading. Absolutely love it. Okay, Aries, look out for my love readings and my weeklies. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.